Thank you. Coach Freeman, how we doing?
How we doing, guys? Good. All right.
Doing the same thing as last week. We'll do questions in the room first, then questions to Zoom. So whenever you are ready.
Jeez, man. These are good. All right.
Room, go ahead.
Marcus, we're a week further into this since last time we spoke. Do you feel like we're a week closer to being ready to play?
Yeah, we're a week farther along, in our process to get prepared for obviously Florida State. Just the team we're starting to figure out, where guys are fitting in, what the mentality of this defense, the personality of this defense is going to be. And I'm very pleased with the process, the progress we've made over the last week.
Talk about the personality of your defense. What do you think that is at this point?
I hope it's an attacking, hey, we're going to play with unbelievable effort and attitude type defense. That's to me the most important things is, hey, how hard you play. Are we going to play hard or are we not? No call, no scheme. It's just a mentality of playing. And hopefully that creates some takeaways. Hopefully that creates a different opportunity to have negative plays. But we don't play with the right effort. That's the most important thing.
When you put linebacker, not even linebacker, front seven as a whole, how do you feel about your depth there? It seems like you've got a lot all over. Yeah,
there's a lot of guys that have played a lot of ball. I think our D-line is one of the deepest D-line I've ever seen. And it's credit to the recruiting that's been done here, the development of these young guys. But we got a lot of guys on that D-line that's played a lot of ball, like your Hinishes and your Myrons and your Jasons. And there's some guys that have played, but maybe not a lot of ball, but they've had game experience. So I'm excited to see, that unit perform when the lights are on.
What kind of energy does Bo Bauer now?
He's an infectious energy guy. I think he provides energy for others. He gives it everything he has. That's all you ask for, man. He said, hey, man, you're either energy provider or energy sucker. He's definitely a provider.
So this is going to be the last time we talk to you before the season. Are you going to be on the sideline or in the box?
I'll be on the sideline.
Why do you prefer the sideline as opposed to?
Just what I've always done. I think the only time I've been in the box was really when I was a GA at Ohio State. And it's really more so it's credit to somebody else that's been in the box, that have seen it. Being in the box, you got to be able to see specific things, and for me, I've never been in the box. So my better, viewpoint is on the sideline. And we have some guys that have been in the box that will continue to be in the box that are able to see maybe a different point of view. So it's basically really just more so than me being on, hey, what do I prefer? No, it's what's best for the coaching staff. And when you have experienced guys that have been in the box, put them up there.
I feel like it's easier to just connect with the guys to talk.
Yeah, I think you get a good pulse of your guys. But that's not always what's best, right? Some guys that are really good. I've been around coordinators that are better in the box, and the pulse of their guys are extremely high, So I'm not saying, hey, you're a better motivator because you're on the field versus in the box. No, it's just, to me, preference and what's really the makeup of your staff.
Obviously, that's tough news for the defensive Myron's dad. How has he handled everything, and what has the team done to keep the spirits high?
I mean, he's been awesome. He's been in almost every meeting when he was back home on Zoom. The relationship Myron has with this defense, this team, but more importantly, that D-line is it's family. It's family. And that's kind of created, obviously, through what Coach Olsen has done in that room. But he's been amazing. It's so good to have him back. He just got off a plane I think it was yesterday. They said he landed in South Bend, I don't know, probably 10 o'clock. I look up at 10:30 or 11 o'clock. He's running on the field. We thought he was going to go home. He flew all night, red eye. Next you know, he's on the field practicing. And I think there was a comfort level for him, but also just the passion, the drive he has to be back with his brothers. I love you. That's it. I didn't know his father, but when somebody you care about is hurting, a lot of times there's not many words you can say except for I love you and I'm here for you. And that's all I did. Before he left, I told him I love him. Anything you need, we're here for you. And when he got back, I gave him a hug, said, I love you. Welcome back, Captain. So it's good to have him back.
I asked you about the shirt. Tell me about what you like about it.
Yeah, this was a gift from the Wapu Nation, and today we had a scout kickoff and kickoff return. And listen, I don't like just staying on the sideline, so I try to coach up the scout team a little bit. So I told him, supported them, my scout team, which has some walk-ons. on that scout team, you know, I said, listen, I'll wear this in support of them. Yeah, that's the I guess the unique makeup of our defensive staff, and you've got guys that are really experienced. You know, guys that one I haven't coached with Mike Elson, but he's coached for a long time and knows a lot of football. You know, a guy like Mike Mickens, who we've coached together, so we kind of think alike, and a guy like Chris O'Leary, who's obviously really good, has done it at different levels. I'm talking about a defensive linebacker at the safety position, but then you look at our support staff. I mean, you got Kerry Cooks, a guy that was obviously coached here, coached at Oklahoma, coached at Texas Tech, and you know, there's a wealth of knowledge, and there's different ways to lead. I'm a leader as a teammate. You know, I lead as a teammate, and I soak it all in. You know, when you have a very intelligent staff that's experienced in this game of football, for me, I lean on those guys heavily. You know, and I take their input, and they're very forward with giving it to me. So it's been really good for me.
What are you going to try and do?
Yeah, I think what you still, most importantly, you want to take away the things they do really well, right? And that's most important. Say, hey, what does this offense do really well? And how can we find different ways to defend it? You know, but we're always going to try to dictate. You know, we try not to let offense dictate to us what type of defense we play. And so we're going to be aggressive. We're going to be multiple. You know, we have our package of all these things. Really what you do game week is you say, okay, what fits for this game? What things can I cut out? And, you know, what's going to be best for this offense?
Marcus, 19 games out, it's out. What's the focus going forward? How does it change?
Yeah, I think right now, until you get to Thursday, the focus is continue to trust the process, continue to grind, continue to develop that toughness and that attitude that we need to have success. As we release, I'm sure after Thursday, the guys got, you know, a couple of days off as they get ready for school. Now it's going to probably start, the focus is going to turn to Florida State a little bit more. Right now, it's all about this defense. It's all about really us competing against our offense and trying to develop an identity defensively. But probably after this week, we'll start kind of toning that down and focus a little bit more on Florida State.
What kind of chess pieces are they built? Just a guy that plays on the outside for you.
Yeah, he's a really good chess piece. I don't know if he's a pawn or a queen or a king, one of those good ones, you know, and that, again, he's huge. One, he's huge physically, you know, and you can play him at 3, you can play him at end, you can play him at nose, you can play him at multiple different positions. So he's really been a unique defensive lineman for us that you can put in multiple different positions. And he's smart, you know, you can't just move guys because of how they are physically. You got to be intelligent. He's an intelligent kid.
And then what have you kind of seen from the white position of Jordan?
It's been good. You know, Jordan's been doing a good job. Isaiah's been doing a good job. Even Justin's been doing a good job. We played him a little bit at the Viper position. Kahanu Kia, you know, as a freshman, and he might not know what he's doing. He's flying around making plays, and it's a really, really good position. It's a unique position that's been asked to do a lot of different things. They've done a good job of executing their job assignments.
Now that you've seen him and been coaching, what kind of makes him such a special thing?
I think the 6'3" or 6'4", however tall he is, you know, the ability to cover ground, that helps, you know, that some people don't have, but the intelligence, the leadership that he brings, the energy he brings to our defense is tremendous. And we need that. We need guys that provide energy. I said that earlier, and that, you know, you go to training camp, you know, everybody's got the same amount of days, right? It's what you do with those days. It's what does your defense or what does your group do that's different than the guys you're going against or the other 120-something teams in the country, you know? And energy is infectious, you know, passion is infectious, and he brings that.
Has there been anyone else that's kind of stood out to you so far?
Yeah, I think our captains, man. We got 4 defensive captains, you know, obviously Hinish and Myron and Drew White and Kyle Hamilton. And that's their job. You've been named captain, you know, and I know they're a connection piece between Coach Kelly and our team, but they're also the leaders of our defense. And we lean on them, you know, and they're going to set the tone for how we practice, for the standard of what we do, how we do things. And they've been doing a really good job. He plays fast. and that's a challenge too. When the ball snapped, do you play fast? There's always going to be mistakes, right? But if you're sitting there, you're worried about making mistakes, you're not playing fast. And that's what Paul does. I've noticed that over the past couple of practices, guys he flies around, he hits people. He's not always right, but you know what? He plays with a reckless abandon that is going to be very beneficial for our defense.
Any other questions in the room? All right, we're good. Coach Freeman, you can have
Thank you.
this game.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, sir.
What's happening? How we doing?
Hi.
Good. All right, we're doing a little bit of hybrid here, so we're gonna have questions in the room. If there's any questions, I'm doing we'll do that at the end, but just kind of look at the camera while they ask questions first. You good to go?
I'm ready.
All right, room, go right ahead.
Hi, Bo, what do you think of Marcus?
I love Coach Freeman. He's a great guy. He just wants to have fun out there with us, and he just kind of feels like one of the guys.
What I mean, obviously you've been the energy guy for a long time. What else do you hope to bring to the defense this year?
I'm older now. I hope to just help bring up the young guys with some confidence. My role on the team is just, kind of connect with the guys and try to keep the unity and the bonds there. And, now that I'm older and I've served roles over the year, I just want to make those guys who are just coming in or who's just coming up kind of feel more comfortable where they're at.
How good do you think this defense can be with Marcus?
I think it can be super great. I mean, every morning he gets the guys energized. He has very unique defense, lots of energy, and just a bunch of guys running the ball and having a lot of fun.
Obviously, sad news for your defensive group with Myron's bad. How have you guys just embraced it and told them, okay, it's good?
I mean, it's a hard situation, and Myron, him, he's such a positive, outgoing guy, and so he hasn't kind of brought any sadness back with him that we've seen. He's just carried himself like how he is, and at the end of the day, you have to be there for him whenever he's ready.
What did you learn last year? It's going to help you out this year.
You come in and you're kind of a loose cannon sometimes. That's how I was, and over time, you kind of mature and progress, and so I hope to take what I've learned of working within myself and applying that to the field this year, and just kind of staying within myself. Don't get outside the scheme, and focus and execute on my job.
How do you improve confidence in each other?
Drew's one of my best friends. He's a great leader. He helps me out every day, and Drew is a super consistent guy. I love him for that. So if I'm doing something wrong, I don't understand something, he sits right next to me in the meeting room, right next to me on the field every day. So I just have somebody that's usually got the answer.
What would you improve?
I think Coach Freeze really let me kind of, use one of the things I like to do, blitzing, moving me around, just having a lot of fun, kind of loosening it up. Through that, it's just kind of having more fun throughout the days and just playing football more.
Any other questions in the room?
What's kind of the biggest challenge of just kind of picking up a new defense?
I mean, more than just memorizing the plays and stuff. Last year it was, alignment, fit, execute, repeat. This year it's more freedom. So it's like, bait this way, show this way, have fun. It's like, no, you don't just have the A gap. It's like you can rock back, you can work with it. So it's just kind of taking these new broader parameters he's given us and working with that and getting comfortable with it.
Are there guidelines that Coach Freeman set up for you guys, just in terms of the eye candy, like Drew White kind of talked about last week, that you guys can't do before the snap?
Oh, absolutely. He's got us dialed in. Don't get me wrong there. But he's got us, certain keys. This is what we look for. But at the end of the day, he wants us to be football players.
How would you describe yourself as
I'm just an outgoing, hard-working guy. I'm not always the fastest, strongest guy in the field, but I just try to make up with that with effort and just giving it all for my teammates and putting it on the line.
Freedom that you guys did move around, especially pre-snap, how does that fit your personality? It seems to suit you from what we see.
Yeah, it just, sometimes if you just get locked in every time, it's easier for me to miss things, but it's a more fluid process moving around like that, looking at things that it can help me just kind of not get so locked in and then end up missing a key that I needed to see on that play.
Any other questions?
Thanks, Bo.
Thanks, folks. Appreciate you. Go ahead upstairs, Katie.
See back on wearing the Wisconsin shirt on Twitter. Saying go Tabs. That was Notre Dame place.
Be interested to see if he'll be in Chicago in a few weeks.
Feeling like they didn't that Notre Dame.
All the freshmen baseball guys.
There were some summer bridge kids. I think we had like 5 or 6 every year in the summer. And that's what we get next week. Bringing in everybody but Ryan. Oh, everybody but Ryan, obviously. Should have an announcement in the next few weeks about like the full incoming freshman transfers and all that stuff. So. All right, how's it going?
How you guys doing?
So we're doing a little bit of a hybrid thing. We're gonna do questions in the room and then questions on Zoom if they have them. But if you want to start with their own statement, feel free to go ahead.
Yeah. First and foremost, all praise to the Most High. It's a blessing to be back here with my brothers, my coaches, and staff. Truly being back home, the love and support that my teammates, my coaches, and the Notre Dame community and staff have shown me, it really means a lot. And from the bottom of my heart, I'm truly thankful. And as well for the Irish fans that have been reaching out during this tough time. It's like I said, all the more it puts me in good spirits to have a loving and supportive community behind me. And I'm blessed to be back. And so that's all I'm going to say about my situation from back home. But yeah, I'm just excited to be back and working again.
I guess what are the questions in the room?
How did it feel being named captain?
It's an honor, first and foremost. It's a blessing to serve my brothers. Being voted captain is a responsibility that I don't take lightly, and I'm just excited to be back, like I said.
We saw on social media where Coach pulled it up on Zoom and told the team. What was that whole moment like?
It was very emotional. The first thing I seen when I logged onto Zoom was the delays that everybody was wearing. And so in my head, I didn't want to assume it was for my father, but I kind of assumed it was for my father. And so it really put me in, like, I guess a tearful, but like joyful state. Just understanding, like I said, the love and support that my brothers and my team have shown me, it puts me in good spirits. And so, yeah.
Coach said that you basically flew overnight to get back here to practice today. Is that essentially true?
Yeah, so I flew back yesterday, landed at 10:30 and came right to practice. It was a little jet lag during practice, but it was exciting. It was exciting to be back.
How's being back in the football field and having a goal to work towards? How's that helping you move on?
Yeah, I feel like being back on the football field, perfecting my craft. It would be like my time to kind of, I guess, my alone time. I guess, focus on myself, understand that. I understood my purpose out here was to use my platforms to glorify the name of the Lord. And that's something that my dad always preached to me. And so being back here, I'm able to get back in that mode, get back in that groove. And there's more motivation behind it now, And so that's my mindset right now. I'm excited to be back, just like I said.
Talk about your leadership style, Notre Dame class work.
Yeah, I would say I'm more of a quiet leader. I'm more on the quiet side. You're not going to see me as the type of leader that's going to be yelling like, hey, keep doing this and that. I just like to set the example. I lead by example, and just being around the Notre Dame community. One of the quotes that I'll highlight from our team meeting, Drew White said, you don't come to Notre Dame to change Notre Dame. You come to Notre Dame so they can change you. And so being here for 5 years now, it's really developed me into the man that I am today. Of course, through my faith and my family, that also has a big role in it. But I truly can't explain the Notre Dame effect, but you really come out here as you come out here as an individual, but you leave here as a leader and as a better person.
How do you keep such a high faith, positive mindset through everything?
That's a great question. I really like that question. It's just understanding that for me, it's just me leaning on my faith. Understanding that no matter the circumstances, no matter the trials, tribulations I face, it's understanding that God is in control of everything. And that's where my faith stands. That's where something that my parents have taught me and raised me to be a man of God. And so for me to come back here, I can't be discouraged. now that I got that C on my chest, all the more, it just builds more motivation. So yeah, that's why you see me out here smiling, head high, because the love and support that the love and support that the community and the fans and my teammates have shown me, I can't be discouraged. You know.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks, Myron. Appreciate you. Jared, how we doing?
Good.
Good. All right, we're doing a little bit of hybrid here, so we're gonna have questions in the room first and kind of look at.
Look how sweaty I am on this camera.
And then if there are any questions on Zoom, we'll do Zoom at the end. So you ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, questions in the room, go ahead.
Kurt, how does it feel to be named a captain of the Fighting Irish?
It's a privilege, man. I was telling one of the reporters we have on our Fighting Irish media team, it's a tremendous honor to be a part of something way bigger than myself and a tradition that's gone on longer than I've been alive. So it's really, really cool. It's really special. It means a lot to me.
What did you, I mean, as a freshman, when you came in here, did you think that, hey, this is a possibility, this is something I was shooting for?
Yeah, no doubt. It's always something that I wanted to be, and I've always admired that position in the football team, being the head of something, and being the first one in and being in the foxhole and kind of working the ins and outs of things. It's always been something that has piqued my interest. So yeah, I knew from early here that I wanted to be in an important position on this team.
You could end up becoming, we don't have an official stat on this, but the person who's played the most games in the football uniform because of the extra year of COVID. What did you think about just playing so many games for the Fighting Irish over this last week?
It's not much what I feel, it's what my body feels. You know what I'm saying? My body, like that's a lot of games, no doubt. But yeah, like I said, it's cool. I'm going to take one game at a time. That's not really something that I'm looking like. I'm looking forward to it, but that's not really something that I have my mind on at the moment.
What was kind of your parents' reactions?
They were really happy. As soon as I was named captain, I went back in the locker room and I called my mom and dad and told them. My mom was super excited. My dad was super excited, and they're both very proud of me and just for upholding the tradition that's been a part of this program for a very, very long time.
Makes this defense dangerous, and in particular up front of the line. Why are you guys?
Because we're just some bad, violent dudes up front that know how to use our hands, and we're mean and we're nasty, and we're some dangerous individuals up front, and that's been instilled within us from Coach Elston and all the way from Marcus Freeman and the safeties behind us. Like on defense, we're a bad bunch of dudes, and when we show up to your field, you're gonna feel us, no doubt.
How's that name, image, and likeness process kind of gone for you? If there's any sponsorship or if you feel that you could get?
I mean, I haven't. Am I allowed to say it? So I'm partnered with Jocko Willink and his Jocko Fuel Company. It's called Origin. So that's an NIL deal that I got. And so I don't really know how much I'm allowed to say about this stuff.
I mean, if you've already signed into what you got to do, you can tell people.
Yeah. So they send me like energy drinks and different kinds of pre-workout and post recovery stuff, and vitamin D pills and joint warfare pills that they call them, and so that's been a really cool NIL deal that I got, and especially from someone as high up as Jocko, and just kind of the gung ho attitude that I try to instill within myself, and I think it's really cool, and that's the deal that I think I have the best deal out of everybody.
When we saw the transformation of your body. Can you talk about the transformation in addition to the mental aspect of it?
Yeah, so you talk about transformation from last season to this season?
We saw you out. It was like a fall.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been a great offseason with Coach Bayless, and when it's your last ride at something, it's like coming into the spring semester, it was like this is it, right? And I only had one class. I was in an acting class, and that was the last class I had to get to graduate. So I took that class, and so I was working out. I'd go home, I'd take a nap, or I'd go to my acting class, and then I'd come back and recover. And it was nonstop every single day, from the entire spring to the entire summer. And it's been workout and recovery, man. And Coach Bayless just does a tremendous job with his lifting program. And I can't even, I'm so grateful to have met him and for him to be my strength coach. So
How about the mental aspect? Any aspirations to be an actor?
no, I'm not going to be an actor for sure. I found that out for sure. I'm not going to be an actor. But, the mental aspect of, accepting the role of being a leader on this team. And, at first it's, someone always says like, are you, I remember one of the coaches or one of the sports staff, they're like, are you ready to take on this ability to be a leader on the team? And it's like, it's not, it's a role that you take over, but you either are a leader or you aren't a leader. You know what I'm saying? You can't fake being a leader, right? Because the guys won't follow you. So, it's definitely something that I feel like I am. I feel like I'm a natural born leader, and the guys follow me and follow me into battle. And so my mental aspect didn't change that much, but definitely changed a little bit, knowing that some of the stuff I have to do in the locker room and some of the stuff, some of the things I can't say or can't do. Last year, the year before, if someone pushed me in the back after the play, I'd turn around and try to mix up from, what I'm saying? But now I can't do that because the guys behind me and the guys below me, they see a captain doing that. Well, like, he can do that. Well, then I'm going to do that too. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I have really have to be conscientious of and doing, is kind of managing my emotions.
How cool is it for you that your little brother's coming to the game? Obviously, you can't play with him, but what kind of role did you play?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as he got offered from here, like I wanted to post on Twitter, like, "Oh, coaches, don't even contact him. Like, he's going to come to Notre Dame. Everyone should know that, right?" And I'm super stoked about him coming here, and I'm so proud of the kid and the adversity that me and him have been through from such a young age, from when he was a young age, and the adversity that he's dealt with being at home by himself with just my mom and my dad. My father going through everything, and our family going through everything, and he's a tough kid, and I want nothing but the best for him. And I'm so excited he's gonna get to come here and follow my footsteps.
How is he?
He's great. Yeah, he's doing really well. And he told me a quote the other day that he made up himself, and I can't say it here, but judging by, if any of you remember my father, you can probably guess what he's like. And he's an old rotten dude, and he's not going down without a fight, and that's just how he is.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned?
Biggest lesson I learned from my father. I try to keep that, to be very secretive, because I feel like it's kind of like the secret in the sauce, right? I'm not the most physically gifted or physically gifted would be the right word, but the best athlete on the field. But mentally, I tell myself that I'm one of the best dudes on the field, and that's just from stuff that he's told me. And this is coming from a guy that's beat cancer almost 8 times now, or 7 times. I can't even keep count so many times. I mean, he's been in the ring with cancer 7 times, and he's just destroyed it. So the mental aspect that you have to do that, the mental fortitude you have to do that it's incredible. And the wisdom that he shares upon me is I wish I could share with everybody else, but I feel like I wouldn't have an edge on everybody else if I did share that stuff with him. So, just one of the things that he taught me is he'll fall on his knees and die before he lets cancer or something like that beat him. And that's the way I view things, right? When I'm in the weight room, I'll fall over and die before I give up on doing something. And out on the field, I'll fall over and die before I give up. And that's what he instilled within me from when I was a young age, and that's something that I've seen from him. So,
Thanks, Kurt. Appreciate
yeah,
it.
thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That's it, right?